to the Suckerpunks Sacramento Acoustic Cast. I'm your host, Brett Jordan, and I'm here with a couple members of Fair Struggle. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Megan. I'm the vocalist for Fair Struggle.
I'm Wayne. I play acoustic guitar and electric guitar and the triangle and everything else that needs to be played in the band. Everything except for the lead guitar and the drums.
Everything except the lead guitar and the vocals.
Yeah, we just heard a little bit of his vocal stylings a moment ago.
Not good.
Yeah, we're not going to put that on camera.
There's a reason he hired me.
So what made you start playing music?
Good.
My dad actually made me start singing, just singing along in his car. One day he pulled over and just like looked at me, and I thought I was in trouble for a second there. But he looks and he's just like, I didn't know you could sing like that. And I was like, no one ever encouraged me to. And he's like, well, I'm telling you now that if your school has a choir, you need to go join it. And kind of went on from there.
That's good. That's good. Having a parent that pushes you to do something when they see it in you, And what about you?
That's just funny. It's my dad actually got me to play too. My stepdad had his master's in classical guitar, and he was just an amazing musician. And I found out when I was young that his first instrument was the trumpet, and I was like, I'm going to learn how to play the trumpet because I'm in junior high and there's a school band now. And that's how it all got started.
Oh, okay.
And I started picking up his guitars and learning how to, make them sound horrible.
Well, you seem to be making them sound good now.
I'm trying.
Be better.
And how did you guys form as a band?
Well, myself and the lead guitar player, Ivan Para, him and I have been playing in a few bands together over the last few years. And the last thing we were in, we had a little bit of success, like people starting to notice us, but it was just not a very good group of people to be around. So kind of just ended it, and we had this idea, like we want to sound like this, and we need to find people to sound like this. And for the last 2 years, we've been building and rotating members until we've got this sound that we have now, which we're really happy with. This is exactly the sound we're looking for.
There you go. That's good. That's good. Dedication pays off.
Yeah, a lot of hard work and auditions.
All right. And so, what was Fair Struggle's first performance like?
Well, Meg saw it from the audience. The actual first Fair Struggle performance, Meg wasn't a part of. We had two different vocalists show up. Meg had just moved back from LA and had quit her band down there, and she just wasn't really feeling it. We felt really bad because we wanted her. She had this great voice, so we took the other person who auditioned, who was at a higher level than most of the other people who auditioned, and it turns out she was crazy. But the first performance was it was kind of surreal because we played with a lot of Sacramento's really big bands. We did this festival at it was in the parking lot of one of the rehearsal studios here in Sacramento.
Okay. And
they set up a huge stage, and some of the biggest bands, Kill the Precedent was there, Minus the Bear was there, Miss Amore played, some of the biggest, All in a Day played, the biggest bands in our genre in Sacramento were playing this festival, and it was our first show. We were just honored to be there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And Meg quickly regretted her decision. What did you tell them about that?
The main reason I kind of felt obligated to turn them down was because I felt like I was betraying the band that I had to quit to move back, because moving back was not optional. I had to move back home, and it wasn't something I was too thrilled about. And I found out that my band had already replaced me, and I was like, well, screw you bastards. I haven't turned the band down because I missed you. But what do you call it? We're still friends, except the bass player. And I don't care if he sees that. The bass player, the original bass player for Fair Struggle, was like a brother to me. I went and auditioned with him. I really started missing just being on stage. I was like, oh my god, I need to get back in a band. Why? Oh, why did I not take that opportunity when it was right in front of me? And he told me, dude, our singer's freaking crazy, and we have shows coming up that we don't want to cancel. He's like, are you ready to sing? Because they still want you. So I had 3 weeks to rewrite all of their songs, and my first show with Fair Struggle was a battle of the bands. I'm like, oh great, no pressure. And then we ended up winning.
Yeah, we nearly sold the place out too at Studio 21 in Rockland. I mean, it was just a packed house. It was crazy. People were We realized that night how excited people were to hear Megan sing, and she's got this huge, powerful voice. And we'd only seen it in rehearsal. Then all these people show up and
feed off it.
It blew us all away. Even standing on stage next to her.
Well, I'm glad that all worked out,
Yeah.
Having to leave one band and move someplace when you didn't want to, and now you got Fair Struggle, and that's awesome. Because you guys do sound really good. I was listening to you guys earlier.
Thank you. Our bass player actually just fell into the same situation too. Moved up here from LA, had to leave his band behind. He said he auditioned all over Sacramento, and he came upon us. It was just like I have to join this. I have to play with this girl, is what he says to us. So, yeah, it was good.
I think it's been good for him too, because at least he has me he can relate to, because I understand the difference between Southern California and Northern California, because I'm from here, but I lived out there for 2 years, and we really should be different states. I mean, obviously, I'm hella repping a NorCal shirt.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason. I almost got Kiss My Northern California ass tattooed on my arm while I lived out there. I seriously considered it.
That'd be a great story. So what bands influence you guys?
Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Me as Hailstorm, Breaking Benjamin are my 2 favorites.
Okay. Very good.
Love
Very
her.
good for vocals.
Lizzie Hales, oh my gosh, she's so awesome. I'm in love. They pick on me.
Yeah, I just found out about them recently. Actually, I was watching a TV show, and it's that one, Bar Rescue, where they go in and fix up the bars and everything. And Hailstorm came on and played at one of the bars. That was a music venue.
Oh, hurt me.
And I was like, I've never heard of these people, but they obviously, have a following. They're obviously pretty big. And then I turned around, and now I saw they played here recently, or going too soon.
Yeah, we just missed
out. They sold out here. I was so bummed.
Yeah, she couldn't get in.
I was so bummed.
They're actually playing tonight, I think, with Pierce the Veil in San Francisco.
Another band I want to see. No, I'm really glad that Hailstorm came out, because until Lizzie Hale came around, everybody really, really, really liked to compare me to Amy Lee from Evanescence. And I love Amy Lee, but she sings pretty. I don't.
Yeah, she's got that kind of operatic voice.
Yeah, and that's not the kind of image I wanted. I want the Hell Hath No Fury Scorned kind of thing.
The angry singer.
Yeah. I
Black Velvet and stuff.
Yeah. I have something to
that's the
bitch
song
about.
I always think of when I think of that is Black Velvet. Yeah. What about you? What bands? You?
Hugely influenced by psychedelic rock, like Pink Floyd, and rest of in Palmer. That's what I listen to. But as a teenager, I was really into stuff like Simon Says and Far, a lot of local rock bands, and then of course Papa Roach and everything they did. Their new album is amazing. So that kind of stuff.
That's cool. So, what song do you guys want to start off with today?
What do you want to play first? You're the boss.
I'm the boss. Yeah, in front of a camera. It's on camera. I'm going to use that against you later.
I won't cut it out.
Let's do Take It Like a Man.
Okay.
My head
the clouds, and I almost drowned, but you bet your ass I'm not the one who's going down. The truth's been brought to light, your blood's as cold as your heart is. Stop running from the fight and finish what you started. No, you gotta burn, can't run from the past. Come get what you deserve and take it like a man. Take it like a man. Bet you thought I'd never know, but when the truth came out, you hit the road. Aren't you ashamed to show against a girl like me? I had no backbone. You must be losing your mind, 'cause you know there's no way I'm gonna let this slide. So you just run and hide. Does the dress that you're wearing come in my size? The truth's been brought to light. Your blood's cold as your heart is. Stop running from the fight and finish what you started. You know you gotta burn, can't run from the past. Come get what you deserve and take it like a man. Hey baby, but you know you can't run forever. The truth's been brought to light. Your blood's cold as your heart is. Stop running from the fight and finish what you started. You know you gotta burn, can't run from the past. Come get what you deserve and take it like a man. Take it like a man. Come on.
Oh yeah. That was great. So that one's called "Take It Like a Man."
Yeah.
That's very good. So what other interests do you have besides music?
Besides music, what else is there?
Yeah, right? What is there time for?
Well, right now, like a project I'm working on is I've been drawing out different ideas for album art and t-shirts design. So art has always been a big thing with me. I love tattoos. I'm fiending for another one. I've got 2, 3, 4 of them so far. It's not nearly enough. So that's the kind of art I'm into. I like the urban art, tattoo art, all that good stuff. So I'm trying to do that. Get some merchandise made with something I designed on the front of it. It'd be really awesome.
Different avenues to express yourself. That's always good.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'm devoted to music 100%. Like, I do not have time in my life for anything. My wife gets on to me. She's like, "You don't even have time to be married with kids." And I'm like, "I know."
You're like, "I'm playing guitar."
Yeah, like,
Sacrifices we make. It's hard to
stuff to
squeeze in
do.
time for loved ones with our schedule.
Well, we just spent a week on the road, and we came back, and it's been nonstop since we got back. Just like catching up from a whole week being gone. Like,
Yeah, I need
it's
a
exhausting,
break.
right?
I need a break. If I sound a little hoarse today, it's because I've been singing for the last 5 days straight.
Yeah.
All right. And are you all originally from Sacramento? You said you're from Sacramento, right?
Our new bass player Miles, I think was originally from Modesto. I think he said, but he lives
He's
in
from
Southern
Riverside.
California. Yeah,
I'm
most of
from
his life.
Riverside in California. In Southern California, sorry.
Yeah, and then Ivan is from El Paso, Texas, and he came out here 7-8 years ago for work and just decided to stay.
What about Scooter?
I think he's originally from
He's from Sacramento.
somewhere around here. He's traveled.
Somewhere in the greater Sacramento area.
Yeah.
He's out in Yuba City now. Something like that.
He's been around though. He was a military brat, so
yeah.
he traveled a bit as a kid. But I think he's from here.
Okay. What do you guys like about the Sacramento music scene most?
What do we like about it? Well, it's getting exciting, like, recently. I don't know if it's just because it's exciting for us in the scene, but, like, you know, the past few years, it's been tough to see, like, really, like, a group of really good bands on the same show. Like, you see a lot of bands you've never heard of, bands you'll probably never hear of again, and one decent band on the bill that's been around for a year, maybe. But this year it seems like there's just been a lot more like well put together shows, and
that could also be because we're at the level now where we're getting put on the shows that you want to be put on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's us having a good year or if the Sacramento scene is having a good year, but either way, it's a good year for us.
Before I was a part of the Sacramento music scene, I was one of the little crazy chicks running around following all the local bands around like the Lost Puppy Dog. I'm like, I want to be you, you have no idea. I'm not one of the little girls that wants to sleep with you, but I want to be you. If that makes you feel any better. I totally envy you.
that was me 10 years ago.
Like, now it's not, that's totally not the case because now it's the other way around. Hey.
So what are your day jobs? What do you guys do to make a living? Support your music habit?
I'm a house cleaner.
House cleaner? Okay.
I'm in the middle of renewing my caregiving license, so I'm helping people during the day and cursing people at night. It's on stage, talking shit about ex-boyfriends.
I do that just on the stage.
See, I have more fun though because I get to do it with a microphone.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous.
Because I want to be you.
Right.
What about you?
I don't tell people what I do, just for security purposes, but I like to tell everybody I'm a professional bank robber. So
there you go. Well, that makes sense.
I mean, it's not far from the truth, right?
Referee at illegal baby fighting.
How do your jobs relate to your music, do you find? I mean, you just said that you help people during the day and then you curse them at night, so it's kind of that yin yang balance.
It's my way of, if you hear my lyrics, it's all like the angry shit that I hold in and everything like that, because I got really pissed off that I kept getting screwed over because I do take care of people. I got that job for a reason because I'm that kind of person. Like, if I care about you at all and you need me, I'm there. So when somebody screws me over, I get really pissed. And now that I'm in fair struggle, like, I have a way of letting that out. So I'm still going to be true to myself. I'm going to keep being good to people, even though there are shitty people out there. There are good people around. The shitty people, just be prepared. I'm probably going to write a song about you.
There you go.
Don't piss me off unless you really want to be embarrassed.
Like Taylor Swift. She's gonna write a song about you if you screw her over.
Is there anything about your job that influences your music? I mean,
not really. Like my job, like I'm lucky enough to be in a job where I get paid 8 hours a day and don't actually work 8 hours a day, and I'm off by like 2 o'clock every day. So at 2 o'clock, I'm like in band mode, and all day long I'm in band mode on Facebook and all the other social medias, trying to keep up with everybody and keep everybody up to date.
He does a better job at me than keeping up with everything lately.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Somebody needs to do it, right?
Well,
he's the social butterfly. I'm the girl. He's the social butterfly.
That's weird.
Someone's got to keep the calendars up to date. And I'll look at the calendar and I'll be like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be something on that date. And I'll like start looking through text messages. Sure enough, I forgot to put a show on the calendar. And like everybody's like, what do you mean we have a show this weekend? It's like, yeah.
I remember days that I just mix up what show is on what date. It's like, oh god, wait. I know we have a show this weekend. Which one is it, though? Because there's so many. It's like, oh my god.
It's nonstop.
Yeah, it can get very confusing, especially with all the different places you gotta.
Oh yeah, all the different venues.
Because not to point out a mistake or anything, but I was on your website earlier, and I'm looking at your old tour dates and stuff, and seeing all the different bands you played with and everything. And I saw the very last one listed was for today. It said March 16th that you guys were going to play with Shenanigans and stuff. And then I looked at something else, and that's 10 days from now on the 26th. So it's
got changed.
Yeah.
We never took down the original.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, Ivan does the website. I'll have to point that out to him. But
on our website, it still says I'm the newest member.
Does it?
Yes.
That's funny.
On my bio. We're proud to have her as the newest edition. I was like, no, okay, Scott and Miles are both newer than I am. Come on now.
You've been around for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can tell you that, we have to break it all up into different chunks when we mess with all our internet and social media platforms and stuff like that. Like, I kind of keep track of me and him keep track of YouTube, and then everyone keeps track of Facebook, and then he just keeps track of our website. I wouldn't even know what to do on there.
I had to separate all of our accounts because everything was linked together. The Twitter, the Reverb Nation, the Facebook, it was all linked together.
I had to start a fan page for there's too much stuff going to the Facebook page that was just for me, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, she wasn't getting messages because they just get lost in the shuffle on Facebook. So yeah, she's got her own fan page now that everybody should go like. That girl from Fair Struggle.
That girl from Fair Struggle.
Kind of embracing the joke. Well, I went to the Aftershock Festival that we had this summer, and like 6-7 different people came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're that girl from that female-fronted rock band." I'm like, "Fair Struggle?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, my name's Megan." They're like, "Yeah, you're that girl." I'm like, "No, I just told you my name's Megan."
That's better than how they recognize me because they're like, "You're that dude with the chick lead singer." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm that dude."
That's kind of
the dude stuck behind that little chick.
Right, I'm the dude in the back.
I think Scott feels he's winning.
So what other bands have you guys been a part of in the past?
Well, for Sacramento, I was in South Sunshine most recently. We used to play big shows. We'd nearly sell out the Boardwalk once a month, quite a few years ago. But I mean, that all just kind of fizzled out. Before that, I was in a couple different bands, Breaking Midnight and Undermined, and they never really took off. They never got any traction. So at some point you walk away when it's just not working.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you can tell it's not working by the people that are in the band or surrounding you because it's just like, this is too difficult. It shouldn't be this difficult.
No.
Yeah. Which we're all saying with Fair Struggle because it's unbelievably easy when it all fits together like a puzzle. So.
As long as it's okay for me to throw a shoe at him every now and then.
Every once in a while.
I like how I said as long as it's okay. Like I care if it's okay. I've done it like 4 times.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Just use only when I got my slip-ons on because those are easy to take off and chuck across the room.
Yeah, it takes too much time to untie it. It's not worth it.
It's
Just hit you with the mic then. You're lucky she wears a lot of slip-ons. So you guys have another song for us?
Sure. Bust out another one.
What do you want to do?
Crowd pleaser. Let's do Tear You Apart.
You want to do Tear You Apart? I gotta take off my ring.
Yeah, take it.
It's gonna go clunk, clunk, clunk all over the neck.
So this is our original single. We just recorded our new one. Literally just recorded it, so you guys are gonna have to wait a little while.
Well, they're gonna get to hear it next. But this is
an acoustic version.
This is the single "Tear You Apart." It's available on iTunes.
You're gonna regret the games you play.
guitar part itself by
Oh, it
myself.
was. Yeah, I was watching your hands like, damn, I feel bad I made him play this. And then I messed up.
It's good for you. Builds character.
It does.
So who gives you the most support as a musician? And do you ever have any like detractors? Anyone telling you to stop wasting time?
My mom.
Constantly. There's always people saying, you know, what are you doing? Why do you play music? You know, they just don't get it. They don't get, you know, the whole lifestyle, like just having to play it. And if you're going to play it, you want to play it in front of people, and you want those people to enjoy it. And, like, that's what life is all about. So, like, people who, you know, the naysayers, they just don't get it. They don't understand the lifestyle, and they're just like, you shouldn't do this. So,
I like the people telling us that we shouldn't be trying to be hard rock or any kind of rock because I have a V where people would rather see a P.
Oh, yeah, we get the people who say,
like, really?
You're a girl and you shouldn't be singing this.
And then I get up on stage and they shut up.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just as hard, if not harder, than some of the male vocalists in Sacramento. So people, we've never gotten it from another band though. Never from another band. They get it. It's like, you know what? Who are we? We want to do it. So who are we to tell her not to do it?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about the Sac scene.
Exactly.
Is that we know how can we expect people like fans to support us if we can't go out and support each other?
Yeah, there's a lot of female-fronted bands in Sac too. There's Rad and I think Sneeze Attack. You know, some punk bands, and Rad's like really hardcore, old school thrash.
Some of the punk bands around. There's actually quite a few female punk bands in the area. It's surprising, but not very many in our genre.
No, not very many trying to bust into the hard rock.
Yeah.
Or there's a couple of metal bands though with female fronts.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to the like Amy Lee Evanescence. She tries to go for like the operatic, and it's like no. I hear that heavy music. I want that heavy singer to go with it. Don't get me wrong. I actually love Evanescence. That was totally my age group when they came out, when they were big. But I just don't like being compared to it anymore.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I mean, there's a long tradition of female-fronted hard rock bands. You know, going way back. You know, there's
Heart,
like,
Joan Jett, Pat Benatar.
Yeah, and Jefferson Airplane. I was thinking of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're hard for their time, really hard for their time. And even today, you got bands like I Wrestled a Bear Once.
I love her.
I know.
Dude, the first time we
She's
saw
like the
I
sweetest
Wrestled a
little
Bear
thing, and then she starts singing. I'm like, yes, see, I love that.
I know the first time somebody put, like, I had heard it before and didn't realize that it was a female singing. You know, I thought they just had, like, some sample for the lighter parts where she's actually singing instead of screaming.
No, she does it.
And then somebody put it on a video and I'm like, I want to marry her.
Right?
So what do you guys think about the way the internet is changing music and the whole industry and everything overall?
Scott and I, that's our drummer, we were talking about this when we were out of town earlier this week, how there are so many people that don't go out to the live shows now because they're just waiting for somebody else to go and post videos of it on YouTube. And it's like, I brought up the song Video Killed the Radio Star. Now, we were actually talking about writing a song about how we feel about that. It's like trying to bring more people back to the local scene. It's like, yeah, you can watch it on your computer, but it's so much more fun to like, why not go to the live venue, have a couple drinks, share it with a bunch of friends. It's a blast. You know, we'd like to see you.
Yeah.
We're coming into an industry that you can no longer get rich on record sales. Like you're not gonna be living in a huge mansion, driving 15 cars, you know, and flying to your shows on jets. It's just not gonna happen. That it's over. You know, there's no way to do that anymore. Now, like album sales, you have to come into it knowing that your album sales are like promotional tools to get people to your shows. Yeah. You know, so with everybody downloading music for free, they're always going to figure out a way. One person's going to download your album and they're going to copy it to 50 of their friends.
I've come across free copies of our stuff, and I'm like, oh, come on.
I mean,
we're locals.
But as long as the people are buying tickets and coming to the shows, you know, we're still moving forward.
Yeah, that's the important part. are going to shows and buying the other merch, you know, that the bands are actually putting money into making. So and we've gotten out there and advertise.
We've gotten fortunate, like everybody loves the merch that we put out, and they bought it all. Like we completely ran out of merch because they sucked it all up. So now we're sitting on our band account like we need to order new T-shirts to get all the new designs in and everything. Because
we didn't realize how much was in there.
Yeah,
that was a pleasant surprise when we went and opened the band fund. It's like, oh wow!
Well, everything sold so fast that like all this money that we had donated ourselves to fund merch, like it just multiplied when we sold everything so fast, and so now we haven't even had time to order new merch.
Every spare dime we've gotten so far has just been thrown in there and forgotten.
Yeah, so that's really the way a band survives is ticket sales and merch sales.
Yeah.
And then the music is just promotional.
I mean, it sucks that it's what you call it. There's always a way that you can charge people for stuff. They're going to find a way to stream it free and everything like that. But at the same time, the fact that somebody's out there listening, or that they liked it enough to where they're like, no, you know what, people should hear this. That's still a compliment.
Yeah. And we're constantly adding videos from our shows because we want to make sure everybody sees that the show is exciting, and it's more than just a video on YouTube. Like it's an experience that everybody should be involved in.
You don't get the same energy watching it on your computer, sitting in your house by yourself, as you do being at the show with all the other people.
And when we're in a bar environment, we love playing places like Ace of Spades, but when we're in a bar environment, like we act like a rock band in a bar. We're doing shots on stage. We're buying rounds of shots for the bar. Like it is a rock star experience at a Fair Struggle show.
Yeah.
That's the other way I surprise people.
Yeah, I saw you hitting a flask in one of your pictures backstage.
Girl drinks like a fish.
I'm Irish.
She's always the first one to get cut off at the bar.
I've only been cut off twice. Thank you very much.
So what are your big influences outside of music? Like people who you find that are really supportive towards you.
Go ahead.
He's gonna pick on me.
I'm not gonna pick on you.
My biggest support system always has been my friends, but recently it's been a guy. But it's strange because his way of supporting me is kind of indirect. He's just him and I have a lot in common, so I'm constantly supporting him and like pushing him, like trying to tell him that he's a good person, things are going to go right, and then I kind of somewhere along the line realize, hey, why am I not telling myself the same thing? Me and him are just alike.
Yeah.
That would be my attitude.
He's good for her. They support each other, which is nice. You need that kind of support. My wife's really supportive. She understands that this is the dream, and she rearranges her schedule at work to help us out. So that we can make trips and do shows and record the album. And
his wife is supportive of the band in general.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah. Everything's short of manning the merch booth because she wants to be involved in the show. She wants to be up front and enjoy.
They make me do that.
She sees all the hard work I put into it, and she doesn't get to come out to the shows very often. She's watching kids and stuff like that.
When she does come out, we want to make sure she has a good time because the reason he can come out and have this good time and do what he loves is her.
Yeah, my wife's super supportive. It's awesome.
That's good. So both your support systems are reciprocal. You're supporting them and they're supporting you. That's really good. That's
and then we both have family members who are like my brother. My brother's a dick for some reason. He's like, I hate you, but I hate your band. I'm like, whatever.
Mom hates my angry lyrics. You're not singing, you're screaming. And why do you have to cuss? You have the mouth of a sailor, young lady.
Claire, I wrestled the bear once.
Yep.
It's like, no, I'm not. I'm singing, Mom. This is screaming.
It's like when she joined, we're not going to treat you like a girl. Like, we're all guys. We're going to talk like guys, whatever. And she just starts cussing. We're like, all right, look who's the guy now.
We know who has the biggest ball.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So you guys have another song for us?
Sure.
I'm going to do Lovesick.
Do this. Ivan's gonna laugh at me when he watches the video, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Single that you guys are just working on recording?
Minus the breakdown.
Minus the breakdown, yeah. We there's a solo in that song. There's a fantastic solo in that song.
It is.
And
not the lead.
I can play solos. I used to be a lead guitar player.
Not at the same time as
I can't do the rhythm and the lead at the same time. So
see people do that. It's crazy.
And Ivan is so far beyond me as far as playing solos that like I don't even attempt to play his solos. In fact, he laughs at me at practice. So we're like he'll cut out, or he'll be messing around in the middle of a song, and I'll be like, "Fuck it, I'll play the solo." Like that was terrible. Don't do that.
Same thing I do when he tries to sing.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's my job.
Yeah. So I stick to rhythm guitar. I have unique strumming patterns that I use
But he's also selling himself short because the majority of our songs he wrote.
Yeah.
Like, all I did was add the melody and the lyrics. And then Ivan goes in and he plays and adds an awesome solo to it. Sometimes he'll change the riff up a little bit. Miles comes in and rewrites all of our bass lines and just tears them up.
We didn't even know the bass could be played like that.
I did.
I was just like, "You're doing what? Like, this is my new favorite bass line ever in the history of time," and we caught it.
God, he throws a beat to it. It's a collaborative thing, but the initial idea behind all of our songs was this guy right here. So stop selling yourself short.
Usually starts with me and my Gretsch and my little recorder, and I'll lay down some riffs and bounce them back and forth, and we'll jam them at practice, or sometimes I'll just send it to Ivan. Ivan will, make some adjustments to it, add some things to it, send it back to me.
Eventually it gets sent to Scott, and then eventually Scott will send it to me with drums on it. And next thing you know, we're adding words.
Yeah, and sometimes we go through all that effort, and the songs never get finished. Like we have at least 4 songs that are just
we have one that was really
completely
good.
finished, and we got
really
so
good.
busy we had to walk away.
That one part.
Yeah, one part.
Or
one riff, like. Every time you write a song, you're like, "What about that riff?" You bring it back. No, it doesn't. Like we will eventually.
Keeps trying. He has one that he keeps trying. It's just like every time I hear it, I'm like, "It's not gonna work."
We're gonna make it work.
It's awesome, but it's not gonna work. That should be the main riff in a song because it's not just gonna fit in anywhere. So.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So you guys have any big shows coming up? Any other big things? I know you got some big shows coming up.
Taproot. We're opening for Taproot on May 3rd, Friday, May 3rd at the Boardwalk with our really good friends, Clockwork Hero and Two Nooses. Our buddy Chris is now the new frontman for Two Nooses, and we're excited to see the way that's come together. But yeah, we're super excited for that show. It seems like we've got a national show we're playing here in Sacramento like once a month lately. But this Taproot show, like as soon as I told everybody, here's Taproot, and they were like, oh my god, yes, like my tickets are sold already.
My boyfriend handed me a stack of Taproot CDs, and he said, hey, we're taking this to your show, and I'm going to see if they'll sign all of them. I'm like,
everybody's excited about Taproot.
Yeah, and you guys just played with Soul Asylum, right?
We did. Unfortunately, Soul Asylum didn't have a great draw here in Sacramento. Like, they sounded great. And if anybody who was there for sound check...
Oh, that was awesome.
They did an amazing, like, impromptu cover of Feel Like Making Love by...
That's awesome.
They basically, their whole sound check was like a big jam session of covers. So it was like all these songs, like, hadn't heard in forever. I went to go in the bathroom to finish getting ready for that show, and I ended up saying, screw it, I'm just going to rush get ready right before the show starts because this is too good to miss. I ended up walking right back out and just sitting there. Their entire sound check, like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
No one else gets to hear this. This is the perk of being a local musician.
Yeah.
And then you guys are doing a concert in the park this year, right?
Yeah, this summer we'll be on Concerts in the Park July 19th, Friday.
The only
obviously.
hard rock day.
Yeah,
and they put a female-fronted band on it, which was us. So honored. I love you, Mark and Andy, all you guys, and 98 Rock.
And Greg and
Greg
from B103. Like these guys have been so great to us over the last year. They just put us on Bandcamp at the end of the summer. That's October 5th, and that's an all-day outdoor music festival. And there's campsites available, so at the end of the show, we're all going to be going over to our campsites, and then there's going to be a big bonfire, like campfire sing-along type thing, and everybody's welcome to come rent a camping spot and hang out with all the bands all night.
Support local music, buy the musicians a drink.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Yeah, I know we'll be out there. I'm not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but we've been working with V103, so we'll be out there at band camp, and we'll be out there at Concerts in the Park just because we love going to see.
Yeah, we were out there too. Every Friday night that we weren't playing a show last year, we were at Concerts in the Park.
Yeah, I think I missed like 2 or 3 shows last year, and that was it. I was at every one of them.
Yeah,
I filmed half of them. Was out there with a camera for most of them. Because one of our roommates... Andy from The Walking Dead. They played last year, and we're friends with Single Second, All in a Day. So they all played. So it was great to see a bunch of our friends finally get to go out there and play. Yeah, we wanted to do it last year, but we were so new to the scene last year. I mean, we'd only been around for 6 or 7 months, and but still during the same time we got nominated for a Sammy. Yeah. It was our first year here in Sacramento.
Once again, the only female-fronted in the hard rock category.
Yeah, we lost out to Track Fighter, but you can't really call that losing out. Right?
No.
Track Fighter is so amazing here in Sacramento that you just kind of expect them to take everything they get nominated for, or get offered. So we were really happy to lose to those guys. So that's good.
Even I loved playing with them. We opened for Trapped at Ace of Spades with Track Fighter and Zero Client, and that was an epic lineup, like local-wise.
Yeah, another example of putting more than one good local band on
on a bill. You know, having Track Fighter and us and Zero Client all together on one stage, and then having a national headliner for that show with Trapped. That turned out to be a really good show for us.
Yeah.
I mean, just for us, like, enjoying it, just having a good time.
Just having a great time.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean with all these shows that are a lot more bands that are really good. Like, I met the guys in Zero Client on the Y when they played with Madison Avenue.
Madison Avenue is another band.
You know, I'm friends with those guys. I've known them for a while, and
I've known Marcos for years. Yeah, fantastic.
I've him and ATA, and he's got another band, Life at a Party, which is just, those guys are insane.
I've heard
from Awaiting the Apocalypse is their lead singer too, and they've got the guitarist from After the Flesh and Removal of a Tenth, Tommy Stelma, and it's just like insane, like the stuff they sing about. It's just like,
I gotta check that
they
out.
have a song that's called "Raped by a Tractor" and stuff like that. They're like, it's really disgusting, out there stuff, you know. It's just, but for them, it's just fun. But at the same time, people love it. Every time they put on a show, there's tons of people there for it.
I'd be dying
Same
laughing.
with what is it? What's that? There's a really raunchy band in town. What's the name of that?
Why do you automatically look at me?
Because you know who it is. It's I keep wanting to say Get Shot, but it's not Get Shot. It's I don't know. But
Get Shot is a raunchy band.
Is it Get Shot?
Yeah, that might be the one.
It might be who I'm talking about. Those guys are hella raunchy, right? And they have crowds. Like, people show up to see this show, and that's good for them. Like, you know, it's good that there's a group of people who can enjoy that type of music, and we're a party band, but we're not raunchy like that.
No.
You know, we like having teenage fans.
Our worst line is "Get used to using your hand."
Yeah. I think that's probably my favorite thing about Sacramento and music here, though, is the diversity. You know, it, like, any weekend I can be like, oh, I want to go see a metal show, and go see ATA and
a good metal show too.
Like that.
You can always catch a good metal show when you've got, you know, Chernobog and White Minorities, and, you know, there's the guy that Damage Over Time. Like, there's always
my first
good
Space
metal.
Show was opening for Damage Over Time.
Yeah.
And then I saw them at the boardwalk on my birthday with Head PE and Stepchild. Stepchild's fun to go and see.
Yeah.
They're not from Sacramento, and they actually had themselves removed. They got nominated for Sammy, and because they felt it wasn't fair, because they're not from Sacramento, they called and had themselves removed from it, and I think that was, like, really awesome of them to do that.
That is. That's cool.
So they didn't want to take away from Sacktown musicians, and Tui, the bass player, that's my boy.
Tui plays guitar.
I was just out there at the D103 compound.
What'd I say, bass?
Yeah.
Oh, I
plays
was
guitar.
hella stuck on Zero Client for a second there.
Yeah, Zero Client, those guys are really cool. I really dig their sound.
Yeah, they've got the...
You're welcome.
Yeah, she put their bass player in that band.
Oh, yeah. That's actually the guy we met when we were.
You met my ex-husband?
Oh yeah. No, we were just we were at the bar and he started talking to us. They hadn't even
That doesn't surprise me. Talks too much.
Yeah.
Just like this one.
It's funny though, because we did an interview with him, and he seemed to talk like probably least. So that was different.
I would love to see that side of him. I'm gonna have to look that interview up. I'd love to see his quiet side. It's been a while.
Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight. I really enjoyed it. You have an amazing voice, and you're an amazing guitar player.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It was very fun. So, Fair Struggle. Check them out. Facebook.
Fairstruggle.com.
Fairstruggle.com. You know, they'll be doing concerts in the park. You'll get to see them for free. So do it.
But we have tickets for sale for shows, so don't just wait to see us for free.
And if you just want to talk to me, it's that girl from Fair Struggle on Facebook.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Good night, folks.
Sucker Punk Productions. Get some.